to catch back up with the Melon Man, Ross Chastain, who's third in the Xfinity standings, 11 top tens in a row. And, well, he's going back to, it's got to be his favorite track, Mark. Hell, he finished in the top 10 in the 500 there, and he won there a year ago in the Xfinity Series, except, Ross, you're racing a completely different track at Daytona.
I know, Mark. It is. It's going to be tough on those pace laps. Roll off pit road and know that we're gonna hang a left and go into the infield where I usually camp. That first horseshoe, the east horseshoe of the road course, on the left on the braking zone, right before corner turn in, is right where we always camp. So hopefully I don't end up there again off in the grass.
Yeah, definitely want to stay away from the camper. Ross, just give us, because you've been running great, just give us a sense, though, of the strangeness of this year from any other year you've driven. Because we know you've been running well. You're a top 10 machine, for crying out loud. But just the whole experience of the 2020 season since we last talked.
Yeah, it is. I thought the weirdest part of this year would be that we were fully funded and we would be having new cars all the time and having tires put on the race car all the time and rental motors. Like, I thought that was going to be the weird part. And in fact, that's been the most normal, is getting in the car and doing our job. There's no traffic coming into these races because there are no fans. Daytona is one of the outliers where they are having a limited fan base in there and some motorhomes letting people camp and stuff. So that's a first, the motorhome, the camping side, which I think is great. Let some people in. We'll all social distance but just having a little bit of buzz around a track like Daytona is awesome. And this season pre-race I don't notice much, but when we get out of the cars after the race, unfortunately we haven't won yet, so I haven't been completely focused on celebrating. Even when we finished second, I've been not the happiest guy in the world. Looking back, should have been a little more excited about it, but it's just that desire to win is so high, and we're pushing hard to get there.
Ross Chastain third in the Xfinity Series, and as we mentioned, comes into Daytona with 11 top tens in a row. You won here last year, as I mentioned. You love the Super Speedway. It's the course that obviously was the closest to you at home in Alva. You've had good success racing the Super Speedway. Have you ever raced the road course before?
Only on a golf cart and a bicycle. No, I've not.
So with what's been 2020 and lack of practice, how do you approach this?
Fortunately, the fact that it is 2020, man, RCR, our alliance partner that Colleague Racing partners with, has their own simulator that we can drive as drivers and plug our setups in. So that's been key. That was the first thing I drove for this track with the latest layout of the chicane and everything was last week. They got everything finalized, and NASCAR made their final decision on the curbing for that chicane off of NASCAR 4, and got to make laps there. And then a lot of iRacing every night, much to my girlfriend Aubrey's displeasure. I've been spending a lot of time up there at night, and then the Team Chevy simulator. They have one this massive. It's in a big building. It's a full cockpit, projection screens on a curved canvas, and really puts you into the race car, makes you feel like you're really on track, and that's been key. So a lot of time between those three things with the two Team Chevy and RCR simulator during the day, and iRacing by night. I've ran enough laps that I got sick of it. I was tired of driving around Daytona and, focusing so diligently trying to be better. And so we're on our way down to Daytona now, and hopefully it all pays off.
The last time we talked, I believe you were just getting ready to, was it with Boris Said, do some road course, not just testing, but also like they were going to tutor you. You said, hey, I'm really good at making left-hand turns. I'm not so good at making right ones as well. And so I'm wondering, A, what did you learn? And B, how much more confident do you feel now than from the last time we talked?
A lot, yeah. That it was with Ron Fellows, and that was out in
Gotcha.
Las Vegas. So yeah, so it a long way from that. From then, I feel a lot more confident, and and just trying to find that last little bit of speed now. The art of making the right turns feels more normal now than it did that day that I talked to you guys last. With a full day with Ron and 2 races now under our belt in the Xfinity car, a lot more confident. Just braking and turning right now. It's about braking, turning right, downshifting, and accelerating, and gaining a tenth of a second in that corner, or just maintaining, and not abusing the tires or the brakes or the transmission. So yeah, it's coming along. It's just a work in progress.
Ross, as I mentioned, you have been top 10, how many in a row now, but I know how competitive you are. Any driver is. How do you balance this great run without winning? And do you get frustrated when you're not winning, but still running great race after great race? How do you balance the two?
Absolutely, I'm mad, man. We want to win. That's everything that this sport is about. It's built on is winning. Um, but I've always thought that if I got an opportunity like this, those years I was running in the Xfinity Series and did not have a chance to win, a top 10 might come once or twice a year, maybe 4 times. I thought, man, if I ever get that opportunity, I will relish every top 10, every time I can lead a couple laps and run in the top 5, I'll be happy. And it's not the case. We're competitors. I'm competitive. I want more and I want to win. And seeing, guys like Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric rack up 4 or 5 wins already is tough. It's really tough to watch, and they're beating me every week, it seems like. So, no, not happy. But I know that we have speed. We should have ran 3rd last week at Road America, which is, if I was a little more prominent on road courses, maybe I could have got through those final restarts a little better and gotten up there. I was only able to get back to 7th. So, it's a tough balance. It's tough to not be so upset, to be happy with what we have, but we want to win, man. That's all it's about. So, winning cures all things.
Is half the battle with a road course just embracing the fact that we're racing a road course? Because there are some drivers that hate it, and I think it leads into them not running well on road courses, and other drivers embrace it, and they seem to do better.
Yeah, it is. You really have to for me, just have to not care. Yeah, if I go off track, oh well. Like if I wheel hop and spin out, oh well. But you have to push that limit every corner, every lap, within the realm of what's possible. So I used to be really timid and really scared. That I would wheel hop and break the transmission, or I would downshift wrong, and I would really be just so slow on my upshifts and my downshifts. I was giving up time, and now I look at my crew chief and our team president right before the race, and I tell them, like, on these road courses, I don't know if I'm bringing this car back. I don't know if I'm bringing this transmission back with all 4 gears still in it, or if I'm going to have a box of neutrals. It's just, for me to go fast, I've got to go, abuse the equipment, and that's how road courses seem to be won. So really pushing my limits to just go as fast as I can, and hopefully stay on track and be there at the end.
Ross, I think we might have something here. A box of neutral cereal, some sort of watermelon flavored. I don't know if you go with almond milk with that, but I think we may be onto something there. When you give that talk to your crew chief and to the owner and say, I don't know if I'm bringing it back, do they look at you funny, or is the look now different because maybe that look would have been different a year ago? That look now is confidence in you?
It is, yeah. They and that's what's so great about Colleague Racing. Matt Colleague owning this deal. He really just wants to win. He calls it trophy hunting. He wants to win trophies. He doesn't. That's why he's in NASCAR. So that's the best kind of owner to be. As long as he's on my side, he will let me go do that. And as long as he believes in me that I'm going to do the best I can. I'm not going to tear it up on purpose. I'm going to go push this race car. And we might have to replace a few extra parts after this race than AJ Allmendinger or Justin Haley, who are a little more fine-tuned on road courses and a little more polished. I might I might wear out a few extra parts and pieces, and they're good with it. My crew chief, he doesn't have to pay for it. He just wants to go win as well. So he's like, go for it, man. We'll fix it. So as long as Matt and Chris Rice, as long as they keep believing in me, then this motto and for road courses will work.
Ross, we could talk to you for a long time, but we know you're pressed for time. Safe travels to Daytona, and best of luck on the road course.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Ross.
Chastain, the Watermelon Man. And as Mark mentioned, 11 straight top 10s, 16 out of 17 races he's been in the top 10 this year. Still looking for that win, though. It's been a little over a year, Mark, since he won at Daytona, but that was on the 2.5 mile super speedway where he runs really well. Had a top 10 in the 500 last year, won on the Xfinity Series there last year, but this is racing. This is where they do the 24 hours. They use this course on the infield here. This will be different.
Well, David, I just want to hand it to you. And for those that caught this live, it was your tweets that let people know. You included me. You included Ross.
I did.
You got it done, David. I mean,
I had 4 ats in the tweet. Miller, Moulton, Ross, and the radio station.
Look at you. Look at you.
Yeah.
All grown up.
And 5, Twitch. Also had the Twitch at in there. Yeah. We're almost ready to get rid of our social media guy. All right. I'm about ready to take over.
Look at that. 2020. Bringing David to 2005.
Yep. I'm only a generation behind now. Yep. I'm getting there. I'm out of the 20th century, folks.
David is where his daughter was in the first grade as far as social media goes.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That is fantastic.
I'm hoping by the end of the year to maybe be in middle school. That's a goal of mine. By Christmas, could I be in middle school when it comes to social media? I don't know. That's a big ask. 11, 12 years old. By then, they're just about ready to hack into the Pentagon computers at that age. Only need a couple more years of seasoning.
Well done.
Ross Chastain joining us here on Miller and Moulton. You and I follow him, and they have the stages to the racing, and he'll be racing second in a stage. He'll win a stage. He'll run third, or he's had this where he's 7th, and then he's 3rd, and he's gaining speed. And you and I are both like, he's going to win. And
if I see the name Briscoe, he's not going to win, and that's what really sucks. But I like that Ross has been on with us enough, and I feel comfortable with most people asking the question I asked. But I felt comfortable asking the question about winning with Ross and getting an honest answer, that he would tell it to us straight, and he did. I'm mad. I want to win. You play to win the game. And it's fun hearing it, but he's 3rd. The 2 guys above him have 9 combined wins. Right. He has 0.
Correct. He's only 63 points back in 3rd because he's been so consistent. But I don't know if there's been a race this year where it's been the fastest car. It just seems as if, like you heard that we look for the 6 seconds of truth, Mark. Do you remember when he said that one little sentence? We're just looking for a little more speed.
Yep.
Deep down, he knows there's one of those 2 guys has brought just a little bit more to the track than him. And he's gotten unlucky. He was in line to win a couple and some late cautions, and the restarts have not necessarily been.
No, because he actually had a lead in one race where I think he could have held off whomever it was, but all of a sudden you get that restart, and in those situations, me, the NASCAR guy that I am, speed comes to the top quickly, David.
Okay, good poll question. Who's more inept? Mark Miller, the race fan, David Moulton, the social media
I might throw that up right now as an emergency afternoon poll question. It's very good. Based on our interview with Ross Chastain, that's a hell of a question.
I'll say this. I think before this sports year started, for as inept as I am at social media, I was still better equipped at that than you were talking racing. But this guy is single-handedly responsible, along with NASCAR, starting up in May and doing midweek racing. The combination of the Melon Man and NASCAR doing midweek racing has actually turned you into a borderline gearhead.
Add the fact that my son is a gearhead.
Right.
And that's what's done it to you. This unbelievable aligning of the stars, David.
Crazy.
And I have passed you like you were standing still.
Right.
I mean, I've got tires and I've got the engine, and you can't keep up.
Right. I'm on old tires, and I didn't pit. And you went in and got 4 new ones. All right. And I am just getting right by me.
Yep.
There you go.
Like a young Jeff Gordon right now.
That way to go, Mark. Way to talk it. Yep. Way to talk it. Way to feel it.
And you know what? We're going to end right now because I don't know how much I've got left in the tank, David.
Oh, I know you got nothing left in the tank. You have barely enough to cross the finish line on a green-white checkered. Miller and Moulton.
Which is the way every damn race ends now. I mean, NASCAR has turned into the NBA. I mean, it really, for those, I just got to watch the last 2 minutes of the NBA game. You know what? I just got to watch the last 10 laps of the NASCAR race. Tell me where, if I watch the start, I catch 2 stage ends, I can go take a nap until there's 10 laps left.
Right, because somebody's going to bring out the caution, and then, oh my goodness, it's another green-white checker.
You got it. You got it. Kind of like this show. We're pretty much a green-white checker.
We really do. We come sliding across the finish line every damn day.
Sometimes if you
we're on tires, sometimes we're on the roof.
If you think about our show prep, it's kind of the same way. Green-white checker. Let's go.
Tell you what, our show prep is old tires. I will tell you that. Today was the day when coming up. Miller and Moulton, Southwest Florida's Fox